Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Hey, we're going all the way to Japan today. And while we're there, we're going to be making some tea because we're going to be having a tea ceremony. Today we're looking at this two-player game from Grail Games called Matcha. It's a two-player card game. It says 20 minutes, takes about 10 minutes. It's a micro game, it only has 18 cards. Don't shut this off yet. Wait till you see the overview of my final thoughts. Let's take a look. In Matcha, you're trying to be the first person to either get one of each of these, the tea leaves, the tea whisk, the water, the tea scoop, and the tea bowl, or 4 of any single one. So 1 of each of the 5 or 4 of the single one, that's what you're trying to do in the game. Now each main round is made up of 3 little mini rounds. At the beginning of the game you can see 2 pairs of cards for each mini round, and you can see what's coming up for this whole main round. Now here's the first mini round. Now there's only 18 cards in the entire game. Now this one, you can see this one we're looking for numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one we're looking for the symbols, the matching symbols. So here we're trying to match the number, 1, and here we're trying to match the symbol, bowl. Now there's 2 components here, there's a number and a symbol. 4 is always better than a 3, which is always better than a 2, which is always better than a 1, but a 1 will beat a 4. Same with the symbols. The leaf is better than the bowl, which is better than the water, which is better than the tea scoop, but the tea scoop always beats the best thing, which is the leaf. So here we're trying to match the number. Now there's only 18 cards in the deck. Essentially there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of all 4 types, and then there's 2 zeros. And randomly 2 cards are thrown out at the beginning of each round, so every player has 5 cards. The dealer is going to start first, and they can decide to play a card on their side. There'll be 1 player sitting on this side, 1 player sitting on the other side. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to match this number here and have the highest one. For example, the dealer can play on either 2 of these, or he can pass. Let's say he plays on this one. And then the other player will play basically this, okay? And then so the dealer can play on this one. He could have played on this one if he wanted to in that order, just maybe, but then he goes here, and then this player needs to focus on that, and let's just say this player passes. So at the end of this mini round, we just flip the cards up here because both of us placed a card. Now, we had a match of 1. I had a 1, and it was a bowl. So if there was any other one of maybe a blue or a yellow there, this would have won because it matched the number. So because I matched the number, I get what the symbol is on this card. So I would get a tea scoop in front of me. This player did not match the 1. So because only 1 player didn't match, he gets a whisk. So he would get a whisk on his side in his pool. This one, because he decided to pass, because he wants to play cards later, we do not reveal this, and this player automatically wins this, which is a bowl. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, there's 6 cards out here, and you only have 5, so you're going to probably pass at least 1 most of the time in the game. Some cards can carry over, but we'll see. So then we go to the next round. All right, so the dealer, let's say the dealer plays this, and this other player plays this, and let's say this player plays this, let's say this player plays this, okay? And so we flip them over here. And so what we see is this one is going for numbers. So we need to match with a 2. This one matched a 2. This one did not match a 2. So regardless of how high it was on the symbol scale, this player is getting a bowl on his side. This player is getting a whisk because he did not match. Here and here we're looking for green. This player matched green, it has a 4, so they will get a green leaf. This player did not match, but they played something, so they're getting a whisk. So now we get down to the last mini round of this phase. This player has 2 bowls, a leaf, and this. This player has 3 whisks. Now remember, you need 1 of all 5 or 4 of any one to win. So this player could win here if he gets a whisk. So he's going to probably try not to match. So this player, let's see, this player passes here, and this player plays this, and then this player plays this here, and then this player plays this, and this player plays this. Now we flip this over, and we got a 2, and we got a 4. Neither matched. If neither matches, nobody gets the whisk, nobody gets anything. This player passed, so this player, without revealing, automatically gets the green. So So here he strategically didn't let him get a whisk by also not matching and passing, which gave him the leaf. So at the end of the first round, we have 3 whisks and a leaf, 2 bowls, and this. All these cards would come back, we would set up a whole new round, and we would continue till one player had 5 of any different ones or 4 of the same. Now you can, if you want, hold cards back for the next hand. If you have cards at the end of the hand, they carry on to the next round, but you still only get 5 cards. So that's pretty much it. You play these 3 mini rounds, you reshuffle, you deal them out again, you keep going till anyone has one of these 5 or all the 4. And as you can see, it's simple, but there is a lot of depth here. Just want to show you one of those interesting little tiebreakers. Is here we're going for a symbol, we're going for a bowl, and so this player played a bowl, this player played a bowl. Normally it would be the higher number, but the 1 beats the 4, so this one would actually get the bowl. And the same thing happens with the numbers. If you have a 4 and you have a 1, the 1 beats the 4. So that's pretty much the special conditions. There's also 2 cards in the game that are zeros, which essentially are just nothing. Again, if 2 people don't match, you don't get the whisk, but this can help you get whisks to go down that strategy path. That's how you play. Now the micro game scene blew up with Love Letter. That's a game that's super popular. I love it. It's in my top 20 games of all time. 16 cards, it's awesome. It really set the stage for these micro games. Since then, many other people have tried to get in that micro game chasm, you know, where you're playing with like 20 cards or less. It's really quick, but has a lot of depth, but it's easy. And not a lot of games have been able to replicate the feeling that Love Letter has. And I'm not going to say this does, but because it's a 2-player game, it feels very different. But what I'm going to say is this is one of the best micro games I've played to date. Do not sleep on this one. This is a sleeper hit, this game. There's so much to think about. I love it. My favorite thing to say is depth to complexity ratio. How much depth can you have with the least complex rules is where my sweet spot is. This game is super simple to teach, yet the depth of it is awesome. And the better and better you get, the more levels of interestingness come out of this. So it's like, oh, the cards just have 1 through 4. There's a couple of zeros, but that's it. But there's so much there. Like as the game starts, you can see, 6 of the cards. You got 5. You can see 11 of the 18 cards. And it's like, well, if I don't see something out there, it's most likely in his hand. It's possibly one of the 2 cards taken out, but most likely in his hand. And knowing that through deduction, you can be like, okay, you can start setting up your strategy, what I want to do. You can see all 3 rounds, right? So you can plan for what you're going to do. Strategic times to pass, strategic times to bluff. Oh, he doesn't see that card. He might think this is it and just pass, so I'm going to throw something else down there. And the more and more you get to know each other, the more that bluffing really matters. It's really cool. Oh, he's starting to get a lot on leaves. I got to stop him on leaves. Oh, he keeps playing cards that aren't good. He's not matching on purpose. He's got a bunch of whisks. Then I'm also not going to match because I can't let him have it. Or I'm just going to purposely pass and let him take the leaf that he doesn't need. Really interesting game. And then you get to the second round. It's like, okay, I just need 1 more leaf and 2 more whisks. And he just needs 1 more bowl. What can I do to stop him? And it's such a fascinating game. Don't get me wrong. This isn't like brain surgery here, but for a game that's so simple, it just comes in 18 cards. There's a lot of depth here. It's awesome. If you're looking for a micro game, that's excellent. 2-player game, plays in 10 minutes. That's Matcha. You got to check this one out. It's really exciting. So much so that I'm keeping this game in my gaming library. So let's induct it the proper way with a saxophone jam serenade.